SCHLOCKTOBER rolls on, and seeing as how last week we showed you a caveman movie only to see Far Cry Primal announced mere days later, maybe you should keep watching this series in case it turns out to be consistently predictive. Anyway, did you hear the one about the Power Rangers? The casting call went out last week for the new Power Rangers movie, and with it came a surprising revelation. The new film, which is supposedly being based on the first season of the original series, is also supposedly keeping all of the original character names and personalities, but the casting is supposedly colorblind, i.e. the ethnicity of said characters isn't being required to match those of the original versions. Now, this feels very clearly like an attempt to mitigate the, by today's standards, more than a little uncomfortable coincidence that the Black and Yellow Rangers were played by Black and Asian persons. Yeah, what's interesting about this is that it kinda sucks either way. Color matching uniforms to race is just not gonna fly by unremarked upon in 2015, but on the other hand, if you do, for example, change Zack the Black Ranger into a white guy, yeah, you're fixing the borderline racist costuming thing, but doesn't that also mean effectively erasing a rare, well-known black superhero? I wouldn't want to be the guy who has to make that call, is all I'm saying. Now, I bring this up because, as I'm pretty sure everyone is now aware, Power Rangers was famously created by partially re-editing footage from Japanese Super Sentai TV shows, a format later borrowed by VR Troopers, Masked Rider, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, and others throughout the 90s. But believe it or not, Power Rangers was not the first time another country had looked at Japan's very popular but often very Japanese and difficult to translate live-action superheroes versus monster shows and said, hey, we should try that. No, in 1975, Hong Kong took one of the first cracks at it with what would become the first original superhero movie ever produced in China, INFRAMAN.
That's INFRAMAN!
INFRAMAN! He's here!
Yeah, unsurprisingly, this was a Shaw Brothers Studios production. While mostly known for their classic period martial arts output, the Shaws worked in nearly every genre that was popular, or at least tried to, and INFRAMAN, or the Super INFRAMAN in China, was an unapologetic attempt to cash in on the mega popularity of Japanese action series among Chinese audiences, in particular Ultraman, the Sentai shows, and Kamen Rider. As our story opens, a massive earthquake devastates the countryside, and is soon, as in within minutes, Shaw Brothers movies do not mess around on the pacing, revealed to be the work of an ancient race of prehistoric villains led by the evil Princess Dragon Mom, who also does not mess around on the pacing.
I have taken over this planet. Now I own the Earth, and you'll be my slaves for all eternity. The disasters you experienced are just small examples of our great power. Either surrender to me or I'll destroy all humans. I've spoken. It's all the warning you're going to get from me. You'll be destroyed.
See? Nice and direct. And if you've seen one Japanese superhero show in your life, you know how the rest of this goes. Dragon Mom has an impenetrable fortress, an army of cannon fodder goons, in this case these goofy-ass skeleton soldiers, and a handful of more powerful monsters to dispatch one or two at a time for her various evil missions.
Come, my creatures. I summon all of you to attend. Silent, all of you.
And for some reason, all of this falls under the jurisdiction of the Science Center, aka the non-distinctly dedicated private army of a super scientist with the world's least interested reactions to terrible news.
Sir, there's another report. It says Mount Devil has erupted. 10,000 people dead.
Oh? It's weird.
His solution? Take the toughest dude on the team and RoboCop him into the cyborg superhero INFRAMAN, which works even though it mostly seems to involve sticking random crap from Radio Shack to his skin until he turns into an off-brand Kamen Rider. And then we're off to the races.
You are now INFRAMAN.
No, literally, that's it. Once INFRAMAN is created, the film settles into the expected new monster fight, new monster fight, new monster fight rhythm and hardly ever lets up. Yes, there's some plot happening about one of the other Science Center guys getting brainwashed and eventually the leader and his daughter get abducted for the finale, but it's all nakedly perfunctory. We're here to see Tokusatsu-style TV action executed with the Shaw Brothers' signature over-the-top acrobatic kung fu choreography, and that's what you get. And it looks pretty spectacular. including a bit that answers the common Ultraman quandary, why not just grow to giant size when the monster is still small? But mostly, yeah, it's a nearly plotless crazy monster bash fest all the way up through the final confrontation at Dragon Mom's Castle Keep, as the movie leaps back and forth from looking like a Sentai or Henshin show to a monster movie to some kind of alternate universe Muppets production. INFRAMAN was a big hit in Hong Kong and even earned itself a US release, rare for a Chinese film that wasn't explicitly a kung fu movie. Even a young Roger Ebert gave it a positive review.
Watch and see how simple it is. You'll understand.
And yeah, that's INFRAMAN, a gonzo must-see providing you're into that sort of thing, which I of course am. Now next week, a new milestone as I present the first fully animated film in Schlocktober history. Whatever could it be?